Okay, 3, 2, 1.
And we're live.
And we're live. Episode 3.
You know, random fact.
Okay.
My wife told me before I film the next podcast
Yeah.
to take off my jacket. But I said to her, Habibati, man's not hot.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so good. I'm not taking my jacket off today because I'm not wearing a t-shirt under it. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Honestly, I am wearing a t-shirt under it. I'm just more comfortable in this particular little number. So are you. Man's not hot.
Yeah.
Man's not hot.
Man's not hot.
I'm not going to do the chorus. Just don't want to embarrass.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so episode 3.
Yes.
Episode 3. I do like your jacket, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's, I would say, as a shade, camel.
I'm happy with that.
Be a fair description.
I think so.
With a sheepskin collar.
Yes.
So it's not real camel or real sheepskin to any of our vegan fans. So
No.
Calm down. Although I am wearing a pair of suede shoes, and you're wearing a pair of leather ones, I imagine. So
Yes.
yeah. Anyway, let's not.
No.
Although, is it being bad to the earth that I'm wearing a pair of cotton trousers?
Ooh.
Where do we draw the line?
Ethical dilemma.
Yeah, well, absolutely. It's something that keeps me awake at night.
It does?
Whilst I'm sleeping on my leather sheets.
You know, this is very interesting. Okay. So obviously our first episode we talked about veganism.
Yeah.
And I put loads of vegan hashtags underneath the video.
Yeah.
And we actually had numerous vegans liking the video.
Oh, that's good.
And obviously they haven't watched it.
Yeah, I was about to say, they've either got a very good sense of humour, or they think we were doing a pro-vegan
Exactly.
podcast.
Exactly. I guess the message is, guys, don't like
the message is
for the sake of liking.
The message is keep liking, keep subscribing.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Okay, but the main topic today isn't a revisit of. It isn't like veganism part 2.
No, it's not.
In fact, none of this was even discussed.
No, it wasn't.
While we're having this conversation.
No, it wasn't.
But,
it wasn't.
I think you should lead with the topic today. I think you should introduce the topic, and I'm happy to give you my thoughts on it.
Okay. Firstly, thank you for subscribing to our channel.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a whole bunch of. I'll say a whole bunch. We got 2 questions.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's averaging at.
Man's not hot.
That's averaging at 1 per episode. So that's...
Show off.
Yeah, I know. Again, showing my mathematical skills there.
I know. So, just to address a couple of questions. Unfortunately, I don't have a middle name.
Okay. I've never asked you that. What are you on about?
No.
Someone asked you that?
Someone asked us that, yes.
Oh, okay.
Someone did.
Asked us about your middle name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. And he's...
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, thank you. Thank you for
thank you for all your questions.
Trying to find out
thank
more
you for
about
that
us.
insight. Thank you for that insightful, important question that must have been keeping that viewer awake since our last podcast to find out that you don't actually have a middle name.
No, I know. It's a huge letdown, unfortunately.
Yeah. You could have made one up for the podcast, maybe, just to make them feel like, you'd actually put some effort into it.
Yeah.
Leslie. Ramiz Leslie Atik. I don't know why Leslie. I just, something really unusual that's also a man's and a woman's name.
Sounds like the name of a vegan.
Yeah. Leslie. Oh, my name's Leslie as well.
Oh, what do you do on Eid al-Adha? Oh, I just slaughter some butternut squash.
I just allow that butternut squash. Go crazy with it. It cost me a lot less than what it does.
On a side note,
anyway,
there's a substitute for everything. I watched Vice the other day, and they have a food channel called Munchies.
Yeah.
And I saw a vegan version of a cottage pie.
I bet that was nice.
Oh, mate.
So it was just essentially, it would have just been potatoes. Was it a guy eating potatoes in a cottage?
No, they replaced the beef with mushrooms.
Oh, okay. Actually, that sounds all right. So that's basically... I think they've got the name of this dish confused. I think it's just mushroom potatoes.
Mushroom potato pie.
Yeah. Which is actually sounds...
It's okay.
It's all right, yeah.
It's okay.
You know what would make it taste better? Some lamb chops on the side. No, let's not do it.
Okay, let's not
do it. Look.
So question time. Someone asked us about our youth, what kind of programs we watched growing up. Flintstones.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Now you're talking.
Yeah. Wacky Races.
Yeah, a little bit.
Jetsons.
Not really.
Power Rangers.
Oh, yes.
Go, Power.
Yeah, definitely.
Man's not hot.
Yeah. My favourite Power Ranger was Red Power Ranger. Hey. No, Power Rangers was good. What else?
Tommy was a Power Ranger. Hey, Tommy.
We promised we wouldn't talk about him this week.
Okay, no, you're right.
I'm not talking about Tommy.
You're right.
Whoever Tommy is.
No.
This week.
No, Tommy the Power Ranger.
Yeah, Tommy the Power Ranger. Yeah. So, Power Rangers, Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah.
Was a good one. X-Men.
Oh, yes.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yes. Thundercats.
Yeah, Thundercats a little bit. Biker Mice from Mars.
Yes.
What else? Live and Kick In on a Saturday morning.
Yeah. Keenan and Kel.
Oh, yeah, here it goes.
Who loves orange soda?
Not me, I like a cup of tea, would be my answer.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
he was here. He's not dead, is he? Did one of them die?
No, I think that was a rumour. A really nasty rumour.
Can someone clear that up for us in the comments section?
Yeah.
We're at that level now.
Yeah.
We're at that level now.
Crystal Maze.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Seemed a bit strange, but...
he was odd.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. He was odd.
He was very...
He had a vibe about him that I'm not sure we can really...
No, I don't think it's appropriate to know.
He had a vibe about him, and I'm not going to...
No, I know exactly where this is
heading.
heading.
I'm going to let our viewers determine where I might be going with it. Let's just say he had a clamminess to him.
Yeah.
He was perspiring a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's change the subject. So there's some of our favourites.
Yeah, some of our favourites.
Oh, obviously for me, WWF wrestling, WCW wrestling.
Oh, yes, WCW Nitro.
Yeah, I used to flick between WCW Nitro and Raw. The Monday Night Wars, they were called.
Yeah.
It wasn't on a Monday night.
No,
it was on a Friday night.
On Friday nights, yes.
Yeah.
Who was your favourite wrestler growing up?
Oof. Listen, we might have to do a whole podcast on wrestling.
I know.
Favourite wrestler growing up? Depends. Probably Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You think so?
Yeah, mainly because I used to live around lots of skinheads who got drunk, so it was just easy to identify with someone.
For me, it was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. Oh, no, not
yeah,
really.
He
died recently.
No, he did.
Fairly recently.
Yeah, fairly recently.
As in, not in wrestling. They didn't do a storyline where he dies.
No.
But he actually comes back to life and wins.
No, nothing like that.
As in, he's dead.
You know. It's not. It wasn't a. And
I'm not making light of that.
No. It was. Yeah, he died. I'm not too sure if it was steroid abuse or something along those lines.
The usual thing,
heart attack, something.
Yeah, something a bit.
That.
Yeah,
something
strange.
to do with that.
Yeah.
But no.
He had a big fallout with Vince McMahon.
No, he did. I think a lot of people did. This is turning into something else now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on.
Ultimate Warrior, absolute legend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but moving on. What do we want to talk about this week? Well. I know I said that you should lead with it, but I'll just mention it.
Okay.
Why not? So, Cheddar Man.
Cheddar Man.
Yeah, Cheddar Man.
Cheddar Man.
So, I'll tell you how I got thinking about this.
Well, firstly...
Okay, go on, yeah.
Let people know.
Yeah,
Who is Cheddar Man?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was going to...
Okay.
Cheddar Man isn't like a person who's like doing an advertising campaign for cheddar cheese.
No.
He's not like Pilgrim Choice.
He's not a vegan making cheese.
Yeah. It's not like, it's not some like strange...
Or making vegan cheese.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Cheddar Man was a man that was found at a place called Cheddar Gorge.
Yeah.
In Britain. And
sorry to stop you there.
Okay.
That, I don't know why Cheddar Gorge just reminds me of Ali G saying, "Hold tight, the Scunthorpe Massive."
And Cheddar Gorge isn't a huge mountain of cheddar.
No.
There's definitely someone out there thinking, I've been wondering where they've been getting all that cheddar from for years. They're just
is that where
people
Baby Bill
scraping
comes
small
from?
amounts of cheddar off. They're allowed a certain quota of cheddar, and they go to the Cheddar Gorge and they scrape it off and put it in a bag, and then the cheddar companies come along and they buy it. So yeah, that's what I've learned this week. There's a place called Cheddar Gorge, and there's a man at the bottom of it made of cheddar. No, so there's a place called Cheddar Gorge in Britain, all right, and essentially that's where they found the first ever what they would say is modern Britain remains. So the remains of a human being.
Yeah.
And it was a man, of course. Yeah, in this unequal sexist time that we live in. But it was a man. So it doesn't, it is what it is. No, actually, sorry, maybe he didn't have a gender. Maybe he was still in the process of deciding. I don't want to judge him. But anyway, but just making sure I cover all bases politically correct wise.
Yeah.
So that I'm not offending anybody.
No?
They found a person, right?
A human being.
Their gender isn't important at this point, guys. So can we just, not make it all about his gender? Can we just make it about his colour, which is what it's about? Right.
I'm officially changing the title.
What?
Cheddar person.
Cheddar person. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Cheddar specimen.
Cheddar specimen.
Cheddar being.
Yeah. So, okay, look, let's be serious for a minute.
Yeah.
Because so they found this remains at the bottom of a place called Cheddar Gorge, and they, up until now, essentially, they'd always thought that, he would have fit the Northern European look, essentially, which would have been paler skin, etc., etc. They have recently run some DNA tests and found out that actually Cheddar Man, as they nickname him, would have been a black man.
Okay.
With blue eyes.
Yeah.
That's like, whoa, double freaky. In a good way, obviously. As in, I'm not bashing anyone who's got blue eyes and black skin. I'm saying that's really cool.
It is.
That's like,
cool.
because I think it's obviously a revelation. It's a scientific discovery.
Yep.
And so I was driving to Liverpool the week before last or whatever.
Yeah.
When I heard about it, early in the morning, I thought, oh, that's a really cool story.
Yeah.
We should think about talking about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
But then also what went straight into my mind was, oh, okay, that's definitely a story that's going to make lots of racisty kind of people really, mardy and have an excuse to moan and probably say that, oh, it's political correctness gone mad that we have to say he's a black guy. And it doesn't, because there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, if you're indigenous to Britain, you're white. So I thought it'd be good for us to talk about, as good a revelation as it is, the issue of skin colour, race, the kinds of views that people have. Because I heard, do you know James O'Brien?
Yes.
Really like James O'Brien. Listened to him a fair bit.
Yeah.
Heard him do like a phone-in talk about it, and it was interesting. Some of the things. Most people are obviously probably coming from the perspective that we are, which is colour doesn't matter. The content of your character is what makes you.
Yeah.
But there's obviously people out there who, although they don't say it directly, they clearly have an issue with it.
No. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So. And I also thought it'd be a good way to bring up your heritage because you did something recently.
Yes.
That I'm gonna get your views on it.
Okay.
Before we extrapolate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big word.
Yeah.
Big word on your vegan day.
It's not my vegan day today.
It's Tuesday, mate.
Yeah, it's not. I don't do vegan days. Don't know who told you. Started that nasty rumour. Probably someone in the comment section. Okay, go on.
Okay, so for a long time, people, and this is, this is not going to be one of those videos where it's a clickbait and there's going to be a picture of me saying, oh, guess where I'm from, guys.
Oh, crap, I thought that's what we were doing.
No, it's not what we're doing. And that really irritates me.
Yeah.
Clearly, we can see what the person's skin color is and they're saying, oh, guess where I'm from. Mate, listen, it's not really a good guessing game, is it?
Yeah.
I can tell. Anyway, so it's not one of those videos. Genuinely, throughout my adult life, people have always asked me where I'm from. Okay? So I've heard it all, mate. I've heard Moroccan. I've heard Algerian. I've heard Turkish. I've heard Afghan, which I do have some Afghan roots. I do have.
Our survey says. Yeah.
No. So people have always asked me where I'm from, my background and stuff, and I tried to ask my mum and my grandparent, my my grandmother, a little bit about our background and history, and they both basically said that we have some Indian roots, some Afghan roots, and that's about it. So I got a DNA test done. Okay. And I'm 85% South Asian, 9% East Asian, and 6% Aborigine.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to be ticking mixed race on the equal opportunity.
There's someone watching this, right? There'll be someone watching this when we put it out, and he'll go, "And I'm 100% England till I die." Cheddar Man, Cheddar Man. No, go on. Sorry.
I'll talk about that a bit later.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it was interesting for me, okay, because in fact, my grandfather, may God have mercy on him. He actually had dark skin and blue eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, my father's father.
Wow.
Yeah, he actually had blue eyes. And so this is something that runs in my family. I've got hazel green eyes. My daughter has hazel green eyes. A lot of my relatives. And according to Riaz Khan, only 5% of the world's population have green eyes.
Yes, Riaz. Get in there with the knowledge. Booyakasha.
Yeah. So that made me curious, got a DNA test done, and obviously I'm not going to go around. You won't find me on the streets of Leicester doing the hacker, although it's very tempting.
Why, who's doing the hacker in Leicester?
I don't know.
I love the hacker.
Mate.
Do you like the hacker?
It's legendary.
The hacker is so cool.
It's one of the coolest things to come out of rugby.
It's one of the coolest things to come
Period.
out of... It's full stop.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
civilization.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, man. It just gets me.
It's awesome, mate. It's
I don't
absolutely
know how to describe it. It's just something.
It's awesome.
I could sit there watching YouTube clips of it all day.
Yeah.
Probably not all day, but as in, yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I'm not...
Continue.
Yeah.
You're not going to do the hacker?
No. So just to let the people know, so the Aborigines were actually people who had dark skin.
Yeah.
And light eyes, light hair. So even my daughter, she has strands of blonde hair.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess so what cool, I'm trying to say is, firstly, for me, it's fascinating because it just emphasizes how, we're all somehow connected.
Yeah.
We're all somehow connected, whether we like it or not. But the other thing I want to touch upon very briefly is, for me, culture is what defines you, immediately defines you. So,
yeah,
born and bred in England, educated here, I eat scones and clotted cream, drink tea, love fish and chips, which reminds me we need to go Grimsby this week.
Yeah, we do.
And, I adhere to
try not to
I speak English, it's my first language. I teach it, okay, which should get me some brownie points with Britain First. And I adhere to the British values, which, by the way, are, just for our viewers, firstly, to promote and believe in democracy. This is according to Ofsted, by the way. Okay.
Okay, that's good because I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. So I'll tell you. So Ofsted, you know how this whole thing, and maybe we can touch upon this another day.
We can, yeah, because we should have a discussion about what the word democracy actually means.
Yes.
And let's see if we are really.
So you know how Ofsted go into schools, and they'll, especially faith schools, they'll go in and they'll basically question the children. What are the British values? Oh, what don't
Yeah.
I need that. Anyway,
come on.
So anyway,
you have to chop that bit out.
So anyway, the British values, according to...
I just realised what you did.
Yeah.
I just got that joke. That's probably going to have to go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Anyway. So, it wasn't meant in a malicious way.
I'm going to start arm wrestling in a minute. Your sister's going to kill us. There's so much to cut out. Go on,
no, there isn't.
Okay.
Anyway, so the British values, according to Ofsted, are democracy, rule of law, individual liberty, and to have mutual respect and tolerance for those with and without faith.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm quintessentially British.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is my family are from Pakistan. Okay, as in that immediate connection, growing up in a household where we spoke Urdu, where we, you know, ate some amazing Pakistani food. Yeah, we do the best biryani.
I've got biryani in the fridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Is it
My
Pakistani?
wife made a
biryani, of course.
My wife made a biryani yesterday.
Yeah.
For me and my sister and my mother.
Yeah.
And my little nephews who have been pictured on these chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yep.
And I've got some left over in the fridge.
Yeah. I mean, loads of cultures have their own interpretation of biryani.
Yeah.
But, sorry guys.
Yeah, biryani's
the best. Specifically from my
Interestingly,
region.
Britain don't have their own interpretation of rice and meat. Essentially, if it was...
Chicken tikka masala.
No, but if Britain did literally have their own interpretation of it, it would literally be rice and meat with nothing.
You think so?
Probably. Oh, gravy. It'd be a bit of gravy.
Yeah.
Which actually doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah. And on a side note, because this is a very sensitive topic, you know, people obviously...
What, rice and gravy?
No, not rice and gravy,
okay.
but cuisine.
Okay, yeah.
Different types of cuisine. You know, people always think their cuisine is the best. And that's fine. That's fine. But a lot of our friends are going to be, so I'm presuming, going to be commenting and saying that akhni is better than biryani.
Okay, yeah. So we should probably explain what biryani is.
We should. Meat and rice.
Yeah.
Spices,
vegetables, maybe a bit of potatoes.
Takes a long time to cook.
And it's all together in one big... I've got to stop doing that with the mic. One big...
pot. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. And it's served with some kebabs, some yogurt, some salad. You know, different people have a different version of it. And but anyway, a lot of our friends are going to be saying that akhni is better. Okay? Sorry, lads. I refuse to consume anything that vaguely sounds like acne.
For those of our viewers who don't know what akhni is, it's a similar kind of thing. But,
jokes aside.
But not similar.
Jokes aside, akhni is very nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
It is actually very nice.
It is nice. No, it is nice. I like it.
I honestly...
I'm just trying to think of how to explain it.
Yeah.
And how it's different to biryani.
I mean, the thing is, look, most cultures have, you know, Somali, Arab, Indian, Pakistani. They all have some sort of rice and meat dish.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what it is. That's what biryani is. It's a rice and meat dish. Anyway, where was I? Culture.
Yeah.
Culture, I believe, is what immediately defines you. The language you speak, how you dress, your values, the food you eat. So,
with this, that's great, Ramiz. But I think with this thing of Cheddar Man,
yeah,
like I think what you've got is there's definitely an attitude in Britain now that's re-emerged and is certainly coursing through the veins of certain people that unless these people use the term indigenous and white and you have a British sounding name, you aren't British. To them, you just aren't, and you just never will be. Like even if you say what you've just said and we agree on what you've just said, you're still not. Why? Because you're not white. Yeah. Like as in their mind, that's how they identify the truest British. Whereas the white skin would have appeared to have come in later down the line with colonization by other Europeans. Because if we go back for a moment to this Cheddar Man character, he was so they say their guess is that he would have migrated across the world when the world was joined. So the world used to be joined before Brexit. Oh, we're taking down the bridge now, that's it, we're leaving. No, as in before quite some time before Brexit, the world was joined in one, or a lot more joined. There was still, and it was always a sphere, not flat.
Okay.
The world split up and then it became a sphere, but initially it was flat.
Yeah.
It's actually a disc. But anyway, going back, so they think that this chap would have migrated across from wherever.
Yep.
And when the land here had obviously it was still cold, but it had warmed up somewhat, so the ice had gone, then people would have been able to settle here. Because something else I found interesting about Britain, on a separate note, is that one of the reasons why it was really hard for like Eastern cultures to conquer Britain is that, like Genghis Khan never quite got into Europe. You could say like some of the so-called Muslim empires later on they always say they got as far as Spain or got to the gates of Vienna, but they never quite made it in. Some of the older Eastern cultures as well, actually one of the reasons they could never get into Europe was because they were horse cultures. So they bred horses, and they relied on horses, and they were keen horse riders, and they were like master horse riders.
Yeah.
But when they got to like about as far as Hungary, apparently, after that, the widespread open plains for the horses to graze would dramatically decrease because there's a lot of forest in Western Northern Europe.
Yeah.
So they just couldn't get here, and they just like the horses would die, and they'd have to start killing the horses because the horses were like suffering, and equally as well, the amount of moisture in Britain made it very ripe for bacteria to exist and stuff. So that's why there was a lot of issues here in the medieval times because of the poor sanitation mixed with the very wet conditions in the forestry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he came here, apparently, settled here, and then later on the whiter skin would have been introduced somewhere through the Romans and the Anglo-Saxons and the Vikings.
Yeah.
So, if you're brown or black and you were born in Britain, you might even be more British than a white British guy.
Oh.
Controversial.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
I remember, you know what? I was reading some of the comments on this article and people were really upset.
What, with Cheddar Man being a black guy?
Yeah, with being a black guy.
You know what's sad? You know what? I'm saying that and we're saying that. You know what's sad? It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
I agree with you.
Like, the only reason it makes me happy is it's just another nail in the coffin for those old kind of racist ideas.
Yeah.
That, because there's people out there who try and argue on an intellectual basis, if you can believe it, that black people are less intelligent than white people because they're black.
Very strange.
Because of the colour of their skin.
No, I've heard this before.
Yeah,
I've heard this
whatever
before.
It may be. People
Very
are
strange.
dirtier than other people because of the colour of their skin. And what you said is, ultimately, what you've touched on kind of sums it up. It's really your culture that has the biggest impact on you.
Exactly.
Right? It's your culture that really, on a day-to-day basis, ends up defining you.
Exactly.
Like what you eat, what your attitudes are to governance.
Exactly.
Exactly. How you conduct yourself. That's what ends up defining you. And I think I think I consider myself British.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think,
no, so do I.
But I think there's some things that need to be explored in this current climate about what being British really means. So we're either an accepting, tolerant place or we're not an accepting, tolerant
according
place.
to the British values, we're supposed to be.
Yeah, we're supposed to be.
To have mutual
but there's
respect
less and less acceptance.
Oh, of course.
I heard a guy on the James O'Brien thing ring in, and he rang in and he was saying, James, I'm sure, I think there's another side to the story on this Cheddar Man thing, and I'm paraphrasing,
of course.
Why are we being told about this and this and that? James O'Brien's like, what do you mean? What's the other side of the story? What do you mean? It's like, well, science has been proved wrong in the past. And he's like, oh, okay, give me an example. And he's like, oh, well, in Egypt...
oh God, here we go.
I know. In Egypt, when they found some of the pyramids, you're gonna love this, and just tell me where the actual science comes in here.
Okay.
When they found some of the pyramids, they said that there weren't rooms there, and then later on they found that there were rooms in the pyramids, and
sounds very scientific.
Yeah, and then James O'Brien goes, "That's not science, that's history." and then the guy was like, "Yeah, but there's I'm not bothered." Obviously, he did the classic. I mean, I'm not bothered anyway because I'm not a racist.
Oh,
but you're indirectly moaning about it.
Yeah.
And then he said the classic line was, "Oh well, racism's only existed for about 400 years." To which James O'Brien responded, "Mate, Egypt." You know, who built all the pyramids?
Yeah.
Yeah, slaves.
Yeah.
Because they were racially persecuted.
Yeah.
So, the point is, it doesn't really matter what colour you are.
No,
It doesn't really matter
It doesn't.
what colour you are whatsoever. If you're born here and you take on the culture to a degree, then you're British. And again, what do you mean by take on the culture? Because what British means to the one guy means something different to the next guy. So being British to me and you means some of those all-encompassing values. Yeah. It might mean liking fish and chips and scones and tea.
Yeah,
but it also means being accepting and being accepted for what we are.
Yes.
For some people, it means something completely different.
It does.
Like, it means being white. It means being somebody who considers everything that is British by default better than everything else.
Yeah.
Like that idea that it's just better because it's British.
Yeah.
There's no acceptance that other communities, other countries, other cultures can have a contribution. It's just all about no, but Britain's the best. Yeah, but why? Yeah. Because it's British. Obviously. Stop talking the country down. That's the and in this sort of Brexit climate they were living in. And I'll tell you a story.
Yeah, go on.
Before I hand it back over to you for your comments.
No, go on.
Because I wanted to mention it because my mother was here this weekend. She's weekend just gone. She was here last night as well, and she was asking, what are you going to talk about this week on the podcast? And I said briefly, we're going to talk about Cheddar Man and see where we go with it. And then she said to me, she was telling me some stories about when she had me. So obviously I'm very light complexion.
Yes.
Mother's Pakistani complexion, which is, like I say, she's British, and she was in a shop. I mean, I was born 1986, right? So this is mid to late 80s. She was in a shop with me, holding me, and someone said, and I'm only repeating that because I wouldn't use this kind of language.
Sure.
Oh, look at that Paki with a white baby.
Are you being serious?
People said that openly. She had people, and that wasn't a comment in isolation. That was the attitude of a lot of people at that time.
That was said openly.
That kind of stuff was being said, and my mum
86 is not even that long ago.
Yeah, being looked at openly. And as sad as it is to say, Ramiz, I'm not really sure how far we are away from those kinds of attitudes.
Yeah. So I think I might get a lot of stick for this, especially in the comment section. But I wonder if that all stems from our imperial past, and just to kind of elaborate a little bit more. So I've worked with a number of Brits abroad in the Middle East and China, and I think this is a very British thing, okay? And I don't mean to sound negative. Maybe it's a natural thing to do, that you're going to judge another country through a particular lens. Okay? So let's say a British lens, okay, where we expect, queuing systems, we expect politeness, we expect things to be structured in a particular manner. And if we don't find those things, we kind of, maybe not intentionally, find these places, can I say, less civilized?
Yeah, I think
less developed.
I think that's the general gist of what people try and say, isn't it? I think this whole idea that Britain's the best and everything else is born out of the idea that the rest of the world is uncivilized.
Yeah.
And it's not originally it was Britain's the best, then it was like America and Britain are the best, and now it's like America, Britain, and most of Europe is the best, but not that eastern part of Europe that hasn't been communist for ages, but is still communist according to some people.
Yeah.
So it's all selective. Apparently, back in the day, well, we know this anyway. This is commonly known, but something that's less commonly known. So when America was kind of not founded, but after its founding, and when immigration was happening, as we know, they treated the Irish very badly.
Yes.
But they also didn't even like people from, say, places like Sweden emigrating, even though they have the most kind of quintessentially English look, not English, European look. I beg your pardon.
Yes.
So they've got blonde hair and blue eyes and everything else.
Yes.
They were considered not European enough.
Really? I didn't know
So they only
that.
wanted they only wanted English, basically.
Wow.
Or, a particular kind of European. And then obviously that's changed, and over time those people have been accepted, whatever that means,
Yes.
into the mainstream and considered white. But I mean, the Irish for a long time weren't even considered the same as other white people.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's absurd. It's absurd. And it really comes back to the idea that, like you say, this idea that we're civilizing the rest of the world, and we'll choose when we think they're civilized, and when we think they're civilized enough, we'll accept them.
Exactly.
Until then. But, I think the Cheddar Man thing just proves that, you know what, it isn't really important at all.
No, it's
the
not.
colour doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
And there's a lot that can be learned from every culture. Some good, some bad.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I suppose that kind of concludes that topic.
It does.
Quite a heavy topic.
Very heavy topic. And we could actually carry on talking about...
We could go a lot of places with this. And maybe we will revisit it again.
Maybe.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're doing. I know you're going on a trip in a few months.
Yes, I am.
And America, cool place. You're going to America. And
Yes.
you can explain why you're going to America in a moment.
Yes.
But got me thinking about America and what I like about America. And we touched on it at the start of the podcast.
Yes.
So I've been to America once with work.
Yes.
For a work thing.
Yes.
Because our head office is in Boston.
Okay.
So I went to stay in Boston. And Boston's kind of like very Europe. It's very Europe. As in, by that I mean it's not really that different
No.
to being in England.
You were
Like,
saying, yeah.
It's got New Hampshire and New England, and it's all in that area. It's right and on the coast.
Does it have Cheddar Gorge?
It doesn't have a Cheddar Gorge. It's a very diverse place.
Okay.
It's quite accepting as well in that sense. So you've
Really?
got it's pretty like cosmopolitan, and I would say probably quite left leaning and really nice people and stuff. But at the same time, it's not something I think you probably get excited about, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, because it doesn't feel that different.
Okay.
But I didn't really get to do a lot of the things that, you would just associate with America as a kid growing up in England. So I didn't get to see any wrestling matches.
Oh, God.
Although I did eat
You missed out, man.
I know. Although I did eat some donuts.
Okay.
So...
Did you have, what's it called, a pizza pot pie?
No, but I had a Boston cream, which is a donut.
Nice.
And I had a lobster roll, which are both things that are like... So a Boston cream is a donut with this like kind of cream... I suppose it's like a custardy maybe, or like a...
Yeah.
It's like a unique kind of cream in there. With chocolate on it. But their donuts are just something else.
Really?
It is true. Their like stuff like that is like... Oof.
Amazing.
Yeah, in one sense. In another way, it's like, oh my God, I'm just like imbibing sugar by the second.
Yeah.
Just so much of it.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's vast, but it's also not as, like I say, the razzmatazz that you sometimes associate with America wasn't necessarily, from my experience, in Boston. And in terms of wrestling matches, so talking about, this got me thinking about what we were talking about earlier. We spoke that we used to watch WWF. I did anyway, and you're asking who my favourite wrestler was.
Yes.
So wrestling is fantastic. I think it's a very unique sport. Okay, people will be watching this like, it's not a sport, all right? Okay, but it kind of is. Because if you think about it, what wrestling is a combination of many things. It's a combination of
Role play.
Easy.
Entertainment.
Watch yourself. Music. Yeah. So you've got music. You've got
D-Generation X.
Yeah, exactly.
Da-da-da.
Yeah. All the wicked theme tunes.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's theatre. It's soap opera.
Yeah.
It's rock and roll.
Yeah.
So that's all of the stuff outside of what goes on in the ring.
True.
And then if you take the physical aspect, it's bodybuilding.
Yep.
It's stunts. It's live stunts being done in front of a live audience.
You're right.
It's real grappling. So is a grappling, a standard wrestling element to it.
A lot of these guys are championship wrestlers.
Yeah, some of them are, yeah, definitely.
They've competed in tournaments.
Exactly. Some of them are ex-body, like, proper bodybuilders. Like,
yeah. I mean, look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
As in real-life grappler.
Yeah, the guy's a beast. And then
Monster.
Also it's like acrobatics as well.
Yeah.
So you've got guys who are like bloody 18, 20 stone, like cartwheeling off of a top rope.
Is this your way of telling me that you're getting into wrestling?
Yeah.
Imran Mosley, the wrestler.
And it's because of that I just want to say, it's because of those reasons that I think there's nothing wrong with watching wrestling. Okay. And I think it's about time we just came out and we just said, we admitted to ourselves that at the end of the day, you know what? I am who I am. And if I sometimes...
I am what I am.
...watch the occasional YouTube clip for 3 hours of wrestling...
So what?
So what? That's my business.
So what if I want to watch a wrestling video of WCW Nitro on my vegan day?
Exactly.
So what?
Yeah. What could be more natural than two guys covered in oil, right? Seriously, what could be more natural than two guys covered in oil with ear piercings, coming down the ring with pink jackets and knee-high boots on?
Yep.
Right, and coming down the ring to music, right, and then getting in the ring with each other, and basically slapping each other about until the other one says, "I don't want to do it anymore," or or he gets on top of him and counts to 1, 2, 3.
Stop.
That's it. Look, and at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And no, but joking aside, I mean, if you haven't already noticed that we are joking,
Yes.
it's the only place where it's acceptable to basically. It's like when a wrestler's getting ready to go out, it's like he puts his leather pants on, right? Takes his t-shirt off, right? And he's like, I feel so naked. What do I need? Leather pants.
Some knee pads.
Yeah, leather pants, gloves, knee pads, elbow pads, check. Baby oil, yeah, check. Knee-high boots. Vince, have you got my knee-high boots? Come and get them. Come and get your knee-high boots. Let me put them on for you.
No chance.
Yeah. But so yeah, that's wrestling. Wrestling's a very weird thing, and it's not real, but it's not fake. Because if you're a big guy, if you pick me up and I say to you, Ramiz, pick me up in the air and throw me on the floor, I'll let you do that.
Spin me around.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll let you do that, and we'll pretend that it was real. So the part where I let you pick me up and I help you, that's fake. The part where I hit the floor isn't fake.
No, it's not. It's not.
That's just about you either land properly or you don't. You either hurt yourself a bit or you hurt yourself a lot.
There was a video on trending talking about wrestling, about Brock Lesnar. I don't know if you saw it. It was trending a few days ago where I think this was on the Royal Rumble where Brock Lesnar was competing and someone accidentally kneed him in the face too hard.
I've seen it.
And he got up
and he punched him in the face.
Punched him in his face.
But that's been happening for years in wrestling.
Yeah.
So
there are some real elements, yeah.
Yeah, there's for years in wrestling, the new guy would come in, and he'd be put in the ring with a tougher, older guy who's experienced, and he'll be rough and ready with him. He'll give him a few real punches in the match. He'll dig a knee in. He'll throw him in a way that he purposely lands awkwardly. Also, at the end of the day, it's a physical sport.
It is.
And
it is.
If if you think that these guys now and again don't get angry with each other in the ring, and that guy, the reason why he'd done that is because that guy had gone in too heavy-handed with him, who was a bigger guy than Brock, if you can believe it.
Exactly.
And he'd gone in heavy-handed, and so Brock got annoyed and punched him full on in the face.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did.
And I would say to anybody who's like skeptical about wrestling, because if maybe you change your mind if you look at Brock Lesnar and what he does in WWE, it's the closest thing to real I've ever seen. In a wrestling ring. As in, again, yes, of course, the guy is saying, they've choreographed it beforehand, they've decided who's going to win, they've decided backstage how certain things are going to happen in the match, but just watch how he picks people up and throws them over his head. Right, clean, like a clean press over his head. A guy who's like 20 stones, he just picks him up from a stationary position and throws him in the air. He doesn't even, he just lets him go over his head. And it's up to that guy to land properly, basically. And you can see with the way Brock is, it's just like, you're going. If you want to go, that's your choice. If you don't want to go, that's also your choice, but you're going.
Exactly.
And it's like, he's taken that aggression that from his wrestling days and then from his MMA time, and he's put it into the ring. And but wrestling is a weird thing. I think the way they dress is pretty, but it leads us nicely into why you're going to America. Your knee-high boot selections run out and you just...
Oh, God.
No. So, seriously, why are you going to America?
Okay. So, it was slightly spontaneous. This is how it all happened.
Yeah.
So, there's a UFC event happening in London next month.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I don't think they had a main card. But anyway, I thought being, a huge MMA fan, I mean, I've been watching and following the sport, I would say, 12, 13 years.
You were an early adopter. I remember you talking about
Early adopter, yes. I believe so. I
remember you talking about this stuff before people even spoke about it.
Long time ago. So I've been following the sport for a very, very long time. And maybe a lot of it is connected to the fact that I was really into martial arts as a teenager. So I'm sure I've told you, but for our listeners and our viewers on YouTube, I've done kickboxing on and off for about 2 years. Yeah. I've done boxing for a little while. I've done MMA for a little while. Yeah. And obviously I just got back into it. I was into martial arts
as a kid as well.
Yeah, Jackie Chan films.
Mainly Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, mainly.
Yeah.
Ryu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ken's better.
Yeah, Ryu. Yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry, go on.
A conversation for another day.
Yeah,
Street Fighter characters. Maybe we'll have a podcast just talking about Street Fighter characters. Maybe.
Blanca.
Yeah. Who's
a ginger guy with green skin. Maybe that's the next thing they'll find at the bottom of Cheddar Gorge.
That could be. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Anyway. So, UFC event happening in London next month. And I looked at ticket prices. And obviously I want to get the best seats. And some of the best seats were £300-400. And I thought, hold on. I do like the card. Some decent fights lined up. However, if I'm going to go all the way to London, you have to take into consideration fuel if I'm going to drive there, or the train tickets, which are ridiculously expensive to London, and the hotel, then food. It's going to end up being a relatively expensive trip.
Long thing.
Exactly. So this is where this is not going to sound logical, but I thought, expensive trip versus even more expensive trip.
Yeah.
And my boy, Khabib Nurmagomedov, is fighting in April. And he's undefeated. And he's an absolute beast. Amazing grappler. I would say he's probably the best grappler in MMA at the moment.
What weight class does he compete at?
He is lightweight.
So what is that? Is that about 10.5 stone, 11 stone? No, that's a bit less, isn't it?
155 pounds.
10 stone is 140 pounds.
Yeah.
So he is 11. He's like 11 stones.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, okay. Something like that.
So he's not like he's not like a super wet through tiny guy, is he?
No, but the other thing you have to bear in mind, 11
stone of muscle.
The other thing you have to bear in mind, a lot of these guys actually walk around at maybe 170, 180. Khabib even goes up to like 190.
So explain something to me.
Yep.
And I'm not even to cut you off here because I know you're actually talking about a trip.
Yep.
I don't get the weight cutting thing. Like, I get that there's weight categories.
Yeah.
But like, I'm 13 stones.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So that in pounds is it's like 160 something, I don't know. It's about 160.
Yeah.
It's about 160 something.
Yeah.
So whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 13 stones. Yeah. So if I want to become a fighter, just for example, right? Why do I need to cut my weight? Why can't I mean, I know that I might lose some weight in training.
Yeah.
But I'd probably still be a middleweight, I imagine, because middleweight starts at about 12 stone, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you see what I'm saying?
No, I
and why do they blow up? Like, why would you blow up 20, 30 pounds? That doesn't, I mean...
I think a number of things to talk about regarding the whole weight cut thing. I'm not too sure whether to finish my...
Finish your story.
Finish my story.
Let's do weight cutting afterwards.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay, that's fine. So, I'm off to Brooklyn in April to watch Khabib versus Tony Ferguson, which is going to be an absolutely amazing fight. I've booked my tickets, I've booked my hotel, and I purchased the UFC event tickets last week. So I'm all ready. The only thing I need to do is get the visa, which I spoke to you about off air.
Yeah, you did.
And really looking forward to going. That's basically that. I think we'll do an MMA type of podcast thing closer to the time, maybe.
Sick.
Yeah, which I'm really excited.
Seeing as though I don't know anything about MMA, I'm looking forward to even more.
Yeah, good. Coming back to the weight cut thing, so this is where the scholars of MMA differ.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Is there different schools of thought?
There are loads. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, weight cutting is this. Firstly, you have to bear in mind, a lot of these competitive athletes, whether it's bodybuilding, whether it's MMA, they don't stay in shape all year round. It's a very much
I understand
thing,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So even a lot of these guys, bodybuilders, modern day bodybuilders, let's look at Phil Heath and Kai Green. These guys are not what we call sort of on stage shape all year round. They're
out of season, they relax the diet.
They relax, exactly. So MMA guys are very, very similar in the sense that, they have a particular camp, might be 3 months, might be 2 months, and they prepare for a particular fight. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, some of the guys have said that if you cut water weight, so let's say, for example, I'm fighting, and one day before the weigh-in, I dropped 12 pounds. Some of the guys believe that if I, rehydrate myself, I'll have a significant advantage during the fight because I'll be heavier. Therefore, I will be stronger. Therefore, I'll generally have a bit more power. Okay. But the other guys say, hold on, if you're dropping 12, 13, 15 pounds.
Which is like, there's 14 pounds in a stone, isn't there?
Exactly. If you're dropping that kind of weight, it's going to have an impact on your liver, your kidneys, your organs, and it's not actually going to help you perform during the fight.
Mm.
So that's where we are with the whole weight cutting thing, and MMA has been criticized a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
The whole weight cutting thing, because I don't believe this type of weight cut exists in boxing, or if it does, not to that degree.
Yeah, so
there's one fighter who fought Tony Ferguson, okay, who's the current interim lightweight champion or lightweight champion, because Conor McGregor technically Conor McGregor is the featherweight champion and the lightweight champion, and he hasn't, although he hasn't defended his belts, he considers himself the champion, and obviously he's left the division sort of a bit confused. So anyway, Tony Ferguson fought some guy called Kevin Lee, and if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Lee dropped something like 22 pounds in about 24 hours, something around that time. And what that does to your body, I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine.
Because I get that. So it does go on in boxing as well, doesn't it? And I get that, for example, a guy might want to drop down one weight division to fight a certain guy.
Yeah.
And then go back up another weight division to fight another guy.
Yeah.
But when it's maybe a stone between each division, and they've got enough time to do it, that isn't that crazy.
No, and the other thing you have to bear in mind...
What I don't get is how someone balloons up 20 pounds.
It definitely doesn't sound healthy. The other thing to bear in mind, in boxing, there are so many divisions.
Yeah, it's crazy,
MMA is not as developed as boxing yet in terms of the different weight categories.
I don't understand the weight categories in boxing at all.
No, neither do I. There are just way too many.
There's featherweight, there's lightweight, there's light heavyweight, there's middleweight, there's welterweight, there's loads.
But then I'm sure you've got like super middleweight,
cruiserweight, super middleweight, or is it? I think super middleweight, not light heavyweight. So I think super middleweight is like from 12.5 stone upwards to a certain point, and then I think heavyweight starts at 14 or something.
Yeah,
stones, something like that.
Yeah,
but again, like you say, I mean, it's just Whereas I think back in the day, it probably was just lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight. I think a lightweight was probably up to a certain point.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Each category's got heavier as well, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that recently. Yeah, apparently, yeah. Each category's actually got heavier. So what was a heavyweight can almost be a middleweight now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because I think back in the day in boxing, they didn't really have an emphasis on doing things like weights so much, and the conditioning side. It was
fair enough.
It was like skipping and boxing.
Yeah.
and they thought weights would slow you down.
I mean, they fought a lot as well.
Yeah, as in if you look at the physiques, there were still like, really guys in good shape, but they weren't like. If you look now, like look at someone like Anthony Joshua.
Huge.
The guy's jacked.
No, he is.
You look at even someone like Mike Tyson, and you look at, they are like, without a doubt, big heavyweights.
Definitely.
I don't think back in the day people looked quite like that aesthetically.
No, I don't think so.
They weren't as heavy as that. Unless they were naturally heavy guys.
Yeah.
But even if you take someone like Ali, he was probably the greatest ever, but he wasn't necessarily jacked in that same way.
No.
He had a great physique, but it still looked pretty normal.
It did. I think it looked achievable.
Yeah. Whereas I'm not saying anything like, as in, Anthony Joshua's, I'm sure, clean as a horse.
Yeah.
But the guy's just something else.
Naturally, just.
The guy's on a different level.
No, he is.
He's on a different.
Monster.
The guy's fantastic, man. So, what else have you got planned for your trip to New York? Are you going to go and see some wrestling?
I wouldn't mind.
Would you go and see wrestling?
I would.
I know a guy who went. I think he went to WrestleMania a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he enjoy it?
Yeah, he said it's amazing.
I can imagine the atmosphere. Obviously, you know,
it's the whole show, isn't
it?
But it's the whole showmanship of it as well, isn't it? It isn't just.
On a side note, when I was in year 6, I was convinced that I looked like The Rock.
I don't know who convinced you of that, mate. No offense.
None taken.
I mean, do you want to look like The Rock? That's the thing. The guy's crazy.
I mean, at some point, The Rock was super cool.
Yeah, of course he was.
Super cool.
The guy with the eyebrow raised.
I had a Brahma Bull t-shirt.
He had a Brahma Bull t-shirt.
I did, yeah. Did you have a tattoo of Brahma Bull?
I didn't have a tattoo of Brahma
Bull
or a Brahma Bull t-shirt. Again, the problem with the things that wrestlers wear is they usually wear things like t-shirts with no trousers.
Which makes complete sense.
Do you remember that on wrestling, though?
Yeah.
The guy would come down to the ring, be all like angry, and he'd be like, even then as a kid, even though the guy was like, you know, super aggressive and everything, I was like, I mean, I get it, but he's got a t-shirt on and just his pants and then like knee pads and trainers. I mean, it's just a bit, you know, it's not normal attire.
Seems like a wardrobe malfunction.
All I'm saying is if I was to go outside now and threaten someone, I'd put my trousers on. As in, if I had, say for example, I had a t-shirt and shorts on, fine.
Yeah.
If I had a t-shirt and pants on, I'd probably just want to put something over.
But that might be a good defense mechanism. I mean, mate, to be honest, if I saw you with your pants and a t-shirt on, I wouldn't want to fight you.
I think it would be a good defense mechanism, like you say.
Of course.
Maybe next time you've got a noisy neighbour and they're the same culprit, word to the wise, take your trousers off, put your shoes on. Yeah. Keep your top half on.
You know why I say that?
And go round to their house.
That's a man who has nothing to lose.
Yeah, he's fed up.
He has nothing to lose.
He's fed up. He
has nothing to lose.
He's fed up. He's fed up. As in,
someone confronts you like that, you better be afraid.
Yeah.
Because mate. Listen, I've come out. I've come out
in my chuttas.
Do you remember that whole like kiss my chutneys?
Yeah.
That's taking a trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
What was it called? The whole program.
Chuttas is like pants, right?
No, that program. With,
but pants, that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Chuttas, chutneys.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Goodness gracious me. Check, please.
Yeah, same thing. Chuttas, chutneys, same thing. Talking about same thing, have you seen that Paul Chowdhury thing? Where he talks about, he goes, fridge, freezer, same thing. Kitchen, bathroom, same thing. Cousin, wife, same thing. Have you seen it?
No. But I like the cousin wife joke. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. For all of you married to your cousins. Not us. So, we've lost a few viewers there. Anyway.
I thought we've lost a family of subscribers.
There's a lot of stuff to cut out this week. So that was very good. Okay, that's fine. That's good. So that's wrapped up your America trip. So this week, viewers, we've covered imperialism, America, wrestling, and UFC. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What else is going on in your life, though?
I think that's about it.
So that's quite a profound question.
Yeah.
What else is going on in your life?
What else has been going on? I bought a new book called Contagious.
All right.
Yeah. It's Nothing.
How you feeling? Hey, how you feeling?
No, it's all to do
Is
with
the idea catching on?
it's all to do with marketing and what causes something to go viral.
Wow.
Yeah. So sounds like an interesting read. It just got delivered, courtesy of Amazon
That's fantastic.
today. Amazon
That sounds really cool.
Prime. So I'll give it a read and maybe I'll do a little review next week.
Ooh,
Oh,
that sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah, watch out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful.
Maybe.
Be careful. You might. Be careful because it's. Oh God, I can't even get the words out because it's contagious.
Who knows, viewers? This time next week, I might sell you a course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, a lot of these new marketing guys, you find them.
Oh God.
I hate this. Please stop clogging up my feed. Please. It's really irritating. Okay. You're sitting somewhere in the Swiss Alps and you're saying, okay, guys, you know what I do for a living? Okay.
You know what I don't.
I'm a marketing guru.
Yeah. You know what I don't like? I don't like people who they've obviously at some point made the decision that they're going to be a lifestyle coach.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, so
I hate that.
They're going to.
They say there's a saying in English, right? That those who can't do teach.
Yeah.
You know what the real version is?
Yeah.
Those who can't do become life coaches and consultants.
I just want to make a quick point that I work for a consultancy. So, yeah. That was episode 3, guys, and it's been a pleasure.
No, on a side note, a lot of these guys, okay, just to
I know what you mean.
Just to wrap up.
No, you're right.
I remember watching one of these motivational kind of dudes online, and he tried to say something really profound, right? And it's on a channel that we both used to watch. And he's sitting there, and it goes a little something like this. Huh. Check this out. No, something else altogether.
Run DMC.
Yeah, no, it's not that. So he said, you know what I like to do? I like to wake up in the morning and meditate whilst I'm half asleep. And I wake up and I do a little... I like to visualize my future. I like to look into 10 years ahead of myself, and that way, when I'm there, I try to look at all the back steps, all the things that I've thought about in my...
All right, mate, yeah, I bet you are half asleep.
Okay. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm half asleep, I'm usually thinking, bloody hell, my breath tastes funny.
But yeah, some of these guys really try to be too profound, and
it's that, and it's also, what do you do?
Nothing.
Like, as in, where have you learnt this lifestyle stuff? Like, are you just, are you full-time in the mode of lifestyle coach, or is there a point where those people go off and, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think a lot of the
how
stuff...
have they experienced, how have they got the experience to tell me what to do in the first place? If all they've been doing is telling me what to do. It mind boggles me.
I mean, I think a lot of these guys are full of crap, to be honest.
They've found a market niche, and they've got they've made it work.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, they do come from like certain backgrounds where they've had good jobs and things like this, and they've probably been successful.
Some of them.
Yeah. Some of them. Some of them, if you look them up, it's like, I'm talking about, I don't want to mention names.
No, neither do I.
I'm talking about the main guys who are like millionaires.
Yeah.
If you look them up and you try and look their career history up on their own pages,
bro,
it will be like invested in real estate in 1990s, and then it will just jump to like...
Yes. They don't have tangible businesses.
No.
They don't have and I'm not going to name drop, right? But this is homework, okay? I'm in teaching mode now. So homework for the viewers and listeners. Think of an icon, a marketing guru, okay? One of these guys who say, spend £5,000 with me and I will change your life, okay? Those kind of guys. Just check them on Company's House.
Yeah.
See if they have any kind of tangible business.
What does dormant mean? Yeah. I know.
But I think we should wrap this up now.
I think we should call it a day. Let's encourage our viewers to subscribe, like it, go on
share it,
brusselsprout.com and download it. Go on TunesEye and have a look at it. leave your comments in the comments section.
Yes.
We've gone on for long enough.
Leave your comments in the comments section.
Where the comments section is, put your comments there.
Yeah.
And like it with the thumbs up icon. Subscribe to it where it says subscribe. Just press a little thing on your device.
Yeah.
That's what I did there, because it could be a tablet, could even be a laptop, and obviously it could very well be a smartphone.
Yeah, and you have to, in today's day and age, you have to be politically correct.
You know, it's important that I think we're not, we don't actually have any prejudice towards people's preference for a particular device. I think it's quite a serious issue.
It is,
and I think it can be quite divisive. Anyway,
on that note,
let's wrap up.
Shout out to Abdul Hakim. This is for you.
Oh, we got to do that again?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to everybody. What was the next bit?
I don't know.
That was it.
Bye.
Okay, goodbye. Yeah.